Thank you, Trey. Good morning and welcome home to Unity. I'm Barb Buchanan, licensed Unity leader and prayer chaplain, and it's good to see all of you here. And we particularly welcome our live streamers, which there's probably a lot of you out there today. So welcome, and know that we are connected heart to heart and soul to soul. And if you would happen to be a guest today, which I think we're all family today. I think we are. We're family today. But if you would be a guest, there's a brochure on the welcome table that has information about everything about Unity. And you probably know who our speaker is today. It happens to be Paula Land. Very popular Paula Land, yes. She's our transitional administrative director in the LUL. And we welcome you, Paula, to our home. And our musician today on the sax is Trey Dooley. Thank you very much for being here. Yes. So, if we can stand, we'll sing our invocation. As you're able to sing our invocation and opening song.
There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in me. God the good, God the good, God the good, omnipotent. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Now let's all greet one another with a handshake, a hug, a hello. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Today is the third week of Advent, and the word is love. Advent calls us into love, not the glittering, polished love of holiday movies, wrapped gifts, and store windows, but love that is complex, complicated, and messy. The story of Jesus' birth, marked by uncertainty, fear, and courageous faith, reminds us that divine love often arrives not in perfection, but in persistence and boldness. Advent love dares us to go deeper, to reach out to the hurting, to prioritize connection over consumption, to extend forgiveness even when it's difficult, to risk vulnerability by opening our hearts again. As we light the candle of love this week, no, not yet. Thank you. Let us ask, how am I being called to love more fully, more truthfully, more daringly? What might be born in me if I let love lead? I am love in action, sharing my gifts with the world. The harmonious power of love draws us into oneness with all creation. And from 1 Corinthians 16:14, let all that you do be done in love. So, do we bless our children today? I guess. Okay.
Lisa's going, I don't know. Neither do I. That's fine. Okay, so don't go to the second slide, just leave it at this.
God is love, the love surrounds me. In that love I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me. Love is mine and all is well. God is love, your love. God is love, sweet love. And love is mine, mine, and all is well.
Now let's bless our children. Should we?
We did not.
Let's do.
Let's do it.
We love you. We bless you. We behold the light in you. And let's sing our Walking in the Light song.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Okay. Several announcements today. So today is our ministry team fair, and we have brunch with walking tacos. So be sure to go to the community room after the service and see what may spark your interest as far as volunteering at Unity CR. We have, amazingly, we have 3 board positions open this year, and there are packets for that information on the welcome table. Those that are on the team are Rachel, Gladdy, Brian, and Paula. Raise your hand, Paula, Brian. Gladdy's not here. Rachel's not here. Okay. We got 2 people here on the team. If you have questions, be sure to talk to them, and you might want to take that into prayer about being on the board. It's a wonderful experience. I'm sure the board members can attest to that for sure. And this Tuesday on the 15th is another True Tuesday. And we're having Jennifer Bowers do Kundalini Yoga. So that should be fairly exciting for that hour. And Join them at 6 o'clock, is it? Let's see your time. 6:30, thank you. The book study this week is on the 17th, this Thursday, is our Advent booklet. Oops. So that should be fairly exciting to see what's going to be happening with that booklet this year. Anyway, January 8th is a new book by Catherine May called Wintering, Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times. Everybody ought to show up for that, particularly me. All right. Next Sunday is our Christmas play that Jan Griffith has created, and it's based on Reverend James Freeman's story. And there evidently is going to be a cookie potluck afterwards. So, on Christmas Eve, on the 24th, Susan will lead that service with, scripture, candles, wonderful evening. And Saturday, on the 27th, Jan Griffith is doing a new book study called Give Me a Word. And that book is by Christine Valters. That's available if you want to pick one up. It's not necessary, but it's a how to find that word that will take you into the new year that will fill your soul. Yeah. Okay, next Sunday is our New Year's Eve service with Paula Land and myself. And to end December, we're having a party on the 31st from 6 to 8. So you all can get home and get your jammies on. But there'll be fun in the bookstore and guess what? Karaoke. So if you've ever wanted to try that, now would be your time to do that for sure. And the prayer room partners today are Susan and Jan, and they would be glad to pray with you over in the prayer room after the service. And I think we're up to a song
All right.
that we're going to sing. Okay.
Let's all stand and join our voices in joyous celebration. 2, 3, 4.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.
Sing it again.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds kept their watching, nor silent flocks that night, behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. God, tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. God, tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. The shepherds feared and trembled when low above the earth rang out the angel chorus that hailed our Savior's birth. God, tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. God, tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Down in a lowly manger, the humble Christ was born, and God sent us salvation that blessed Christmas morn.
Please join me in our statement of purpose. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We gather to create an experience of spirit. At Unity CR, we offer practical teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. Meeting you right where you are, we endeavor to provide a variety of ways to support your path of spiritual living. Our mission is to provide spiritual awareness and share the wonder and joy of God's love.
So beautiful. I love that instrument. Whew. And you play it so well. Thank you, Trey. Oh, I don't need to hold this. Isn't it interesting how life presents situations and circumstances that give us pause, that make us question, that allow us to call upon our spiritual principles and make a conscious decision as to how we are going to navigate it and show up in the situation. That's what I've been experiencing over the last week or so. And last week we kind of talked about the idea of, we gotta feel the feelings. And, in the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, I think the third one that we're getting to is feel all the feels, right? So you gotta feel the feels because you gotta get through that stuff in order to become centered and to become aligned with Spirit. So I've been spending a lot of time aligning with Spirit and saying, Spirit, allow whatever is needed to be heard today to come through me. So we say unity is a mission-centric ministry. What now? The title of my talk. Now I tell you, 2 weeks ago, that was not the title of my talk, but it is now. So we go to of course, the dictionary to find what are some of the definitions of the word what. And I think in our particular situation, all of these really apply. And if I was better with PowerPoint, I would have made these just drop in one at a time so you could read them, but I'll work on that over the winter. Okay, so an exclamation explaining something surprising. What? What? Just when we think. What? A pronoun asking for information and specifying, meaning that the pronoun what it has a thing that is in the place of what. So what is that thing that we're talking about? What is it? It's also an adverb. It says to what extent, to indicate an estimate, an approximation. What is going on? Help me get a sense of what is happening. So would you agree that kind of all three of those what's kind of apply to maybe what's rolling around in our consciousness these days? Now, what now? Now is at the present time or moment. It's also a consequence of the fact. So consequence meaning what happens after, right? So this happened, now what? Now. It's that. So how many of you have heard of Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now? No? Pretty familiar. It's almost become, some of the language in it has become kind of mainstream. Like we've just kind of come to accept that as a part of our awareness and understanding. So in the Power of Now, he teaches that true happiness, peace, and spiritual awakening comes from living fully in the present moment, as the past and future only exist as thoughts in mind, right? So the past, thoughts in our mind. The future, power of imagination. We're thinking of what could be. It also says that the past is gone, the future hasn't arrived, and only now is real, and this is where life happens. So hello, folks. Life's happening right now, right here, right? We just got done experiencing in the past some beautiful music. Right now, I'm speaking. After this, we are anticipating the future of going in and eating some walking tacos. Woohoo! So, what is disrupting our sense of okay, our sense of good? Barb, can you bring me my water? The tall one with the straw. Thank you. I always have to have like multiple beverages. And I forgot to print out this PowerPoint, so I have no idea what slide is next. That. Okay, no, this is appropriate. What now? So, Paul Hasselbeck, we talked about him last week. He recently passed. We had his service on, they had a service sort of called not a celebration of life, not a funeral. It was an experience, as Paul would want it. And we got to see little snippets of Paul teaching and talking, and it was so cool. So I had to jot down some quotes. And this particular quote really struck me. It's another beautiful day in my consciousness. And that's how Paul would say it, right? Another beautiful day in my consciousness. Is it beautiful? Yeah. Today, look, we got the sun. We're here. We're loving on each other. 5:30 this morning, my consciousness was maybe not thinking it's another beautiful day in my consciousness. So I invite us to think about the various things that are in our consciousness when we are presented with a situation where we say, what now? So let's think for a moment about the past. Boy, Lisa, you did a beautiful job on making these slides much prettier in like 5 minutes. The past. So let's think about the past. Let's think about where we have been. We've had various ministers in the past, and some of you have been around for a lot of them, and some of you have been around for none of them. There were people who came during Cutaback, I think maybe Jean's the only one, during Lola. I know Nina and I came during them, some of us came, and we had different experiences. Right? We have different feelings about the past, and my experience of those ministers in the past might be different than yours. So then we had a Reverend Jeff and Anne Marie, and then we had kind of an interim who was more than an interim, stayed for a while, Thelma. And then we had Reverend Brenda. So I'm imagining that several of you knew Reverend Brenda. Now, the reason I'm bringing up all these different ministers is that each of us had an experience. I remember there was a particular minister that just didn't quite jive with. I took a little break. I said, no, thank you. And so I stepped away. And I have witnessed over my now 36 plus years here at Unity, people who've stepped away and they've come back. Some have just come regardless. Some have said, I just so resonated with Reverend Brenda. She just enlightened me. And there were others who were just like, ooh, maybe she kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So the point here is that our experience of the past is varied. And as much as we want to say we're in the now, those experiences of the past shape our current reality, right? We went 18 months without a minister between Brenda and Deborah. And we were like, whoa, look at us. We are pretty freaking awesome, right? Like, we're doing this thing. And we were so excited to see Deborah come. And we learned so much in those 18 months. And with Deborah here, we learned so much. And when she left, we had different feelings. Some of us were just like, oh, well, that felt fast, especially with COVID for almost half of it. And yet, some of us just thought, oh my God, we are never going to be able to replace Reverend Deborah. She was phenomenal. And there were other people who were just like, she was great. She's just what we needed in the time. So again, my point being that we have different experiences of whatever the past situation is. In the past 2 years, Our first year, we're like, we're doing this thing, and we're not going to make a bunch of changes. We're just going to keep on keeping on. This last year, we're like, hey, we can't wait around forever. We're going to get some things moving. So I would say that we did do that. So then there's our idea of the future. And this is where I want us to think about what are some of the different possibilities for our future. Just shout it out. What could happen? A new minister. We could have a new minister. That is a very real possibility. What's another possibility? Keep on keeping on. What's another possibility? Carl? You could become a minister. Oh. Yeah, okay. What's another possibility? We could go on without one. How long? Could it be a month? Could it be 3 months? Could it be another year? Wow. So if we don't have a minister in our future next week, or in 3 months, or in a year, are we going to feel like we're missing out? Yeah. Some of us are like, yes, of course. We want a minister. Others of us are saying, we're going to keep on keeping on. We're going to do this thing. We got stuff to do here. We got people. We got powers. We got 12 powers at least. And we have talent. So what I'm saying now is not like, oh, we should not have a minister or we should not have a minister. It's about being willing to be in the present moment and let go of what I mentioned last week. Let go of any sense of lack, that we are missing anything, because we know that truly our divine nature is wholeness. So we truly are whole. Other possibilities for the future? Half-time minister? Goodness. There's so many possibilities. But what we know is that right now, we are good. You all know the saying, it is what it is, right? Sometimes you just want to slap somebody when they say it to you, just like, yeah, but it kind of sucks. But truly, when we think about what is, it is what it is. But Paul, in his infinite wisdom, says, the question is, how can you use what it is in the most productive way? Great question, Paul. Thank you. So how can we? So I can tell you that this past year we've been trying to be productive. Would you say, Lisa? Yeah. How about you, Kevin? Think we've been productive? Yeah. And we got a big, huge community room painted. Awesome. We've got beautiful gardens. We have been incredibly productive. Revamped the restrooms. Oh my gosh. That was a vision that we had. We used our power, a vision we had 25 years ago, and then the power of imagination finally manifested that about a year ago, right? So we got it done. So again, the possibilities are endless. So some of the what is outside of our ministry is that church membership is declining across the country. How many have heard of that? Yep. Happening in Unity too. people are looking for a place to connect, to be in community, to belong, to explore, and to develop themselves. Would you agree with that? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah. And guess what? People are doing that not just in churches. They're going to places like Illuminations. They're going to places like Prairie Woods. They're taking yoga classes. They're going to their AA meetings and their Al-Anon meetings, and they're being like, yes, I'm becoming more spiritually mature. I'm becoming more enlightened. So the unity movement, the word movement, implies that we are evolving. And so I want to share with you this wonderful thing that happened in November, and I had mentioned it to you before, is that we had two unity organizations that came together as one unity. What a concept. Yeah. So Jim Blake, the CEO of Unity World Headquarters, shared a little bit of some talking points for ministries. So follow along with me because we're taking a little diversion here to looking at the overall movement. So in 1889, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore founded Unity as a separate nonprofit. They founded Unity. 75 years after, a separate nonprofit was created to support the churches or field ministries. It was originally the Association of Unity Churches, and more recently we've called it Unity Worldwide Ministries, or UWM. The Fillmore's original School of Christianity is now called Unity World Headquarters. So we have UWH, the headquarters, and UWM, the ministries. So UWH, the headquarters, continued the work of publishing books and booklets and the magazine Daily Word, or the little booklet, and operating the Silent Unity Prayer Ministry. It also oversees the 1,200-acre Unity Village campus and all of the activities. That was some of the original work of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, is what Unity World Headquarters does. But the ministries created in the 60s this organization to make sure that ministries were being cared for and had services. So with this reuniting of two unities, 60 years apart from when it originally started back in the 60s. Legally, it was called an acquisition. But let me tell you, the idea of unity merging as one was not original to this last year or two. That idea came up over and over again. It had fits and starts. Okay, so it took time for that to evolve. So now what is Unity World Headquarters is now Unity Communities and Leaders, UCNL. And it is a department under Unity World Headquarters, which we will be calling Unity. So pretty much everything is the same for us, except instead, in our bylaws, instead of being members, we're going to be partners. I think I've mentioned that before. The board of Unity Worldwide Ministries has dissolved, and there is now one board, Unity World Headquarters, and we have an interesting thing to share about that in a future Sunday. And the thing that's going to be really cool is that there's all sorts of things that are being envisioned. We'll have a customer care center where you can call and get directed to your right place. I don't know how many times people are like, do I call headquarters? Do I call UWM? I don't know. So that'll be happening. There's also going to be an online platform called Circle, where it'll be like a clearinghouse for all these wonderful talents and skills and resources that can be accessed. So the idea of the two organizations merging together emerged again because two people, one from headquarters, one from Worldwide Ministries, came together and said, let's do this thing. They did not do it in a vacuum. They did not do it in a bubble. They created a vision. They shared it with the membership. They shared it with all the ministries. They asked for input. They held town halls. They held so many different listening sessions. And guess what happened in that process? It evolved. The idea that originated with two people and worked with two different boards to make happen evolved because of the input of those who are basically make up this worldwide organization. So I do that, one, to inform you that, yay, we're one unity, but two, to say that this is how things become manifest in reality. And it's coming up in another slide. So, the what is, we are evolving, and we need to be in alignment with what we say we are, so that we are aware enough that we become emotionally and spiritually mature to be able to create this healthy, safe, spiritual community. And that leads to the question, how does Unity CR intentionally evolve to attract those who are seeking and engage and empower those who are here? Goes back up to there. There are people who are looking. How do we show up? What do we do? What do we do? We get to decide that. We do. We truly do get to decide that. And so that input that was received by Unity World Headquarters had a lot of good stuff in it. And I think that as a group of people who make up this amazing, thriving Unity ministry right here in Cedar Rapids, have a lot of ideas and talents for how we evolve. In fact, that's how things happen. Have you heard of divine idea? Maybe once or twice. Metaphysical principle that all ideas exist in the mind of God. We access those ideas in our minds. It becomes an idea, then it becomes an expression. Tara had beautiful ideas about how to decorate, and it became an expression. Yes, yes. So what can be expressed through this ministry? Whoa, this is a lot. And I want to I'm going to share with you something called spiral dynamics. It's an evolutionary model put out there by Ken Wilber. Has anybody heard of Ken Wilber? Okay, there are some of you. So I love thinking about the world, life, through an evolutionary lens. Because when you think about how things were however many thousands and thousands of years ago, people were in beige. That's the color that we use to represent this instinctive phase, where it was about staying alive, right? Self-protection. Then we get to purple, and as humans evolved, as the world and our cultures evolved, it became more animistic, meaning that we started having rites and rituals and taboos and superstitions, and these were all different ways for us to make sense of the world and to exist. And then years go by, we go to red, more egocentric. It's about gratification. It's about the conquest. It's about action. Live for the now. We have heroes. We have victims. And then years go on and we evolve in our consciousness as human beings living on this planet. And we started moving into a blue phase called authority, where we started having some sense of trying to create meaning of our world. We have to have some discipline. Can't just be out there doing wars and whatever. We needed some traditions, some morality, some rules. And the interesting thing about this is that when you move from one phase of evolution, you don't lose the other phase. Did we stop wanting to find food and stay alive? No. We took what was good about that phase and we used it to move in. We took what was good and we transcended to the next phase. So keep that in mind, that there are aspects of each of these evolutionary phases that are good. Kind of reminds me of unity here and the different ministers, and there were aspects of each thing that were good and that we bring into the future, into the now. Then we go to orange. So we're into the strategic. We're more materialistic, and it's about status and growth. There are winners, there's losers. And then we come into this beautiful green. And I think that's where a lot of us come from, and why a lot of us are here now, is because we have this sense of sharing, of caring, of community, right? Love on one another. Yeah. We want earth care. We want outreach. We want to do all these things because we have a green sense of consciousness. So I would tell you that all of those colors so far are what we would call tier 1 levels of evolutionary model. We get into tier 2 when we start getting to yellow. Yellow is integral. It's about natural systems, self-principle, multiple realities, being able to hold two different ideas and senses of reality at the same time, and knowledge. And then we could potentially evolve into this turquoise, this holistic, collective individualism. That's what I see for us, is that we have individuals and we are a collective. So we are collective individualism. We look at things through more of a cosmic lens, through more of a spirituality lens. We recognize that there are changes on Earth. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's what we have in our frame of reference right now. But maybe in another 100 years, or maybe it's only going to be 50 or maybe 500 years, that there may be other colors. There'll be maybe other ways of thinking about the world. So I introduced this, and for some of you already know it, but because we have different ways of perceiving the world based on where we might be here. And remember, none of them are bad. It's important to say, if you are in a blue authority consciousness, that is not bad. That is where you are, and there's a reason why you're there. Just know that there's other ways of seeing things. And even if you're not willing to accept orange into your way of viewing the world, just knowing that that's out there helps you, right? Okay, so enough of that. Does that make sense? Does that seem like really way out there, or is that just like, oh, yeah, kind of interesting? So, as I said, year one, we said, okay, we're just going to keep on keeping on. Year two of being without a minister, we said, hey, let's get some stuff done. Let's do some cool stuff. So we started looking at things like member engagement and development, and we created a team to look at how do we welcome the first-time guests, what kind of system do we need to help create that connection and engagement and help develop folks to the extent that they want to be developed or develop themselves, because only you can do that. Exploring unity. We have done Exploring Unity about the same way for 10, 15 years now, give or take, maybe 10, let's say 10. It's been pretty cool. We've seen a lot of people come through. But we're looking at new ways to make a membership more accessible and intentional for people. So that'll be, and I think Tara's going to be I keep pointing to Tara, I'm sorry, but poor Tara, we had to cancel our fall Exploring Unity, so she'll be a part of whatever our next iteration of Exploring Unity is. We have talked about in our prosperity team that we want to do a sustained giving program. And that concept is about the idea that over the course of a few years, we're going to have 100% of our operational costs covered by consistent giving, whether it be through Tithely, through ACH, through whatever method of regular giving, so that we can have more opportunities for for fundraisers. We've done things like financially investing in me, going through this integral ministry certificate program, which I am currently in, going to be starting Q2 of 4 quarters. We supported Rachel and encouraged her to do the small group facilitator training, because we have small groups right now. We have things that we're doing, and this facilitator training is really just giving us more of a model and a way to support people who might want to do other small groups. So we're doing some pretty cool things. Our areas of spiritual exploration right now have to do with affirming prayer, community prayer. I know our prayer chaplains, we've been working on how do we bring this more and bring more people into prayer. True Tuesday's happening. They're exploring lots of different concepts and ideas and creating their own group of a cohesive group of explorers. And prosperity consciousness. We did that for those 4 things with Sharon Bill Holton, and then there's a group of us who really want to continue and say, let's get together once in a while, maybe once a month, and let's talk about our prosperity consciousness. We're doing 15 commitments of conscious leadership. We've got book study. What else? What else? Could be anything. What's the thing in place of the what? So here we are in Advent, which really is a perfect time for us. It's really an invitation for us to look inward. Now, we talked about, I think, three weeks ago when we were doing the Thanks for Giving, we talked about discovering the divine Christ that's already present within each of us, right? So looking inward, preparing our mind and our heart, letting go of limiting beliefs and old ways of thinking. So if we have any thoughts that start creeping up, that start creating that sense of lack or doubt or can't do that, how would we do that? I don't know. I don't have the energy, whatever. That we can prepare our mind and heart to let go of that, because we get to awaken the Christ, allowing divine awareness to be born anew in our consciousness in our actions. So we can think about this, again, individually and collectively. So I'm going long here, but I want to just share this thought that came into my, so Tyrone is one of the individuals who is in my LUT cohort. And he loves to write, and he is very poetic and philosophical and reflective. And every Sunday morning, he sends a text message to our whole LUT licensed Unity teacher/leader cohort that has these beautiful words that just kind of allow me to get in a good place on Sunday mornings. And this morning he said, I feel the beauty of a new beginnings rising in me. Life continues to unfold chapter by chapter, and I am reminded in my soul that I have been given a divine pen. I love that image, a divine pen. The power to write my story in the universe with intention, with awareness, and with love. Is that so beautiful? That's so beautiful. So I just ask that we take that idea into our hearts right now as we allow ourselves to become centered and align with Spirit. And as we think about Advent and the 4 words that we light the candles for, hope and faith. Faith is one of our 12 powers, and in January we will take some time to explore faith and how that power supports us and helps open our sense of hope for the future. The other word of Advent is peace. We seek peace in our hearts, peace in our mind. We let go of limiting beliefs and ideas so that we can be at peace and centered and aligned with Spirit. And today, we lit the candle for love. Love is the harmonious, unifying force within the universe. And as we round out Advent next week, we will light the candle for joy. Because we find ourselves filled with joy as we rise, as we become born anew into the new year. That Christ sense of us expressing joyfully in the world. We remember to be open to receiving all the good all the good. And even when that good sometimes feels disguised as something kind of uncomfortable, we allow ourselves to move through the discomfort into a sense of finding the good in that experience. What within me is ready to be birthed, to be expressed today, right now, in this moment. So we wrap our arms around this spiritual community. We take the sense of love and peace and joy and we be it. We express it. And through it, we manifest the magnificence of this place, of our experience within it, and we celebrate the awesomeness of our individual expressions that create it. So for this beautiful day, we open our hearts and we say, thank you, Spirit, for being present within me and within this ministry of love and service. Amen.
A new take on a very, very old Christmas song.
Thank you, Trey. Very nice. Thank you, Paula. I invite you to hold your love offering over your heart, or your symbol of your abundance, and join me in saying our statement. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
It says on the slide that we're going to sing this first thing twice, but we're only going to sing it once.
I'm almost done, Nina.
Oh, you're still more.
I got one more thing to say. Just one. We bless these baskets in abundance they will receive. We give abundantly, we receive with gratefulness, and from our hearts we give again graciously. All righty.
Love came down at Christmas, love all lovely, love divine. Love was born at Christmas, star and angel gave the sign.
Go ahead and change the slide.
Worship now we're singing, God incarnate, God divine. Worship now we're singing, and this shall be our sign. Love shall be our token, love be yours and love be mine. Love divine in all of us, born anew each Christmas time.
From our hearts, we bless these ties, knowing prosperity abounds for UCR, our community, and beyond. We join our hearts together and say thank you. To those who have made prayer requests for a beloved, we surround you in peace and love. For those for whom we pray, we enfold you in wholeness, prosperity, and well-being. We release these prayers on the wings of love. Amen. Is it time for the peace song?
Yes.
All right.
Let's all stand.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God
of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God. Wherever I
I
am,
am.
God is.
Remember to go to the community room. The ministry team fair is happening, and tacos are happening. Yay!
Ready? 2, 3, 4.